Hey guys, Ash here, coming at you today with a quick video highlighting a new deck that I've been using up in Legendary Arena and having a lot of success with. So this is the deck. I'm calling it a speed cycle deck. It doesn't have the hog, so it can't be a new variation of the hog cycle deck, but the idea of this entire deck is to bait out your enemy's arrows or fireball or zap spell, whatever they have for direct damage, and then hit them hard with the minion horde or perhaps even any combination of fire spirits and goblins. And basically, it just has a lot of really low cost and high DPS troops, obviously not high hit points. But the idea here, we're going to watch a replay, and then I'll do one live attack. We'll, like I said, make it a kind of a short episode. I just wanted to share this type of deck with you guys because it's seldom do you see a deck that's actually effective in Legendary Arena that doesn't have Royale Giant, Hog, or Golem in it, so I thought I'd bring you one today. I really like this deck. So the idea here is you have a lot of defensive capabilities in this deck. The Fire Spirits are one of my favorite cards in the entire game, right? So Fire Spirits can take down, for 2 elixir cost, they can take down a whole minion horde, which is so valuable. Essentially, they're like a direct damage spell, and they can be used on offense as well. It's a really awesome card. So the idea with this deck is, in the beginning of the match, your opponent obviously has no clue what you're playing, so you want to try to take them by surprise if at all possible with the minion card. So the idea here is you start putting down your low elixir cost cards like the princess or like fire spirits, like the goblin card, and what you do is you try to lure out those arrows, and when he does or she does, then you drop those minion horde on them, and it's going to be very tough for them to stop the minion horde, especially when you use the zap spell, the fireball, and the arrows. You have 3 direct damage spells at your disposal to go ahead and try to counter whatever your opponent comes up with. So the idea here is it's a steady flow of low hit point, high DPS, low elixir cost troops that you're really able to absolutely spam at the opponent. And it may not seem like this deck could be super effective not having that one amazing offensive card. Obviously, no hogs, no princes, no Royale Giant, but it doesn't matter because it defends really, really well. It's a great deck at really keeping your opponent on his toes in terms of, you can see, for example, here I'm playing the Royale Giant deck, and he just can't even get the Royale Giant on the board because he's too busy defending against me, and when he does, I have a lot of answers for it. I can drop my cannon. If I'm late on the cannon or the cannon isn't up, I can cycle over to it and then zap spell to make the Royale Giant retarget onto the cannon. So there's just a lot of options for me. That's part of the reason why I like the deck, and it takes opponents by surprise. I can't tell you the number of times that I've got up 1 tower to nothing really early on in the match, using the princess right away, and then maybe putting a goblin kind of near the princess, hoping the opponent is baited to use that arrow card, and then boom, I drop that minion horde on them, and then I have the zap spell ready or the arrows ready to help back up that minion horde offensively. Now let's go ahead and get into a live match here. So we are live again, so I'm gonna hope this guy is baited by my princess. So he's not doing anything yet. Want to give him a couple seconds while my elixir builds up, and then we'll drop some. Okay, well, he has a Royale Giant down, so we have to defend a little bit on the left. So we're going to not we're not going to worry about baiting the arrows right now. We got to stop that Royale Giant. As you can see, very easy to stop the Royale Giant with this deck. You have the cannon. You want to make sure, now that I know he has the Royale Giant, I want to make sure I cycle to that cannon as soon as possible when I think he's going to play the Royale Giant. So obviously you have to remember when they last played a card and try to time it perfectly so you have that defensive unit up when the Royale Giant is played. So right now I'm just kind of sit back at this point. I still haven't played the minion horde. Actually, I did play it against the Royale Giant. No, I didn't play it. Did I? No. Okay, let's play it now. So here's the minion horde. Hopefully he has no answer. I have my arrows ready. Okay, I'm going to arrow just in case here. I have zap ready now. So this is the idea behind the deck. We're just going to keep doing this cycle with these low elixir cost troops, and we have plenty of options to defend against his deck in the meantime. Even though he has the elixir pump, not too worried about that. We're just going to make sure that we turn our defenses into solid offenses. I'm going to go ahead and fireball his elixir collector here just to make sure he does not get any value out of it. And in the meantime, I have plenty of weapons against this Royale Giant. I don't have my cannon up, but I do have the minion horde as well as the fire spirits. So he's only gonna get a shot or 2 off at my tower, maybe 3 or 4. But either way, I'm pretty confident in how this is starting out this match. His deck is not that well suited to defend against a really high DPS, really fast-moving speed deck such as this. So I'm playing this cannon right now, which is kind of breaking my own rule at this point because I want to have that cannon up before the Royale Giant is played, but at the same time, this deck is so cheap and effective as far as the speed goes that I do feel confident I can get it up again, but he plays the Royale Giant, almost answering my commentary as I say it. I'm going to Fireball this Barbarian Horde real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and play Fire Spirits again. That will take care of the Barbarians, and the Royale Giant won't even get one hit. I'm going to go ahead and drop that Minion Horde on the right. Zap will be down right now, kill those Spear Goblins, and this should be enough to take out that right tower. I have a Princess backing up that Minion Horde. This is what it's all about, guys. That is what it's all about. We have the Minion Horde that we want to really try to take advantage. Whenever he uses those arrows, whenever I think he's really low on elixir, I'm going to go ahead and keep dropping that Minion Horde on the opposite lane. Now you can see here he plays a Royale Giant again very, very quickly, cycling into that Royale Giant. This time I was ready with that cannon, dropped a Minion Horde, and I think this is going to be it. I have the cannon up again already, so I'm going to drop the cannon if I need to, but he's not going to be able to cycle back to the Royale Giant, and there it is, guys. We picked up another win. Thank you so much for watching my video today and taking a little bit out of your day to hang out with me. I truly appreciate it as always, and as always, take care, guys.
We don't play for fame, we don't play for cash. We just play for the glory and the crash of the ash.